So hi guys, like last week we have discussed till here. We'll start today. So one of the most used command in RHL, right? So when we have a download or when we need to update any package, right? So in Windows, like we'll go and download some of the softwares. But when it comes to Linux, right? So we have a package manager called yum. Yum is a package manager. So whenever we are going to install anything or we want to update anything or we want to remove, we mean to say the uninstall something, or we want to manage in the sense like from one version to another version. If you want to update, like we use some of that syntaxes like here, like if you want to update any package, like update the package name. Just I gave here one package. Tree is a package. We'll see like what is a tree and all. We'll see. So one of the package name called tree. If you need update, if you want MySQL also, right, we can give it here update MySQL, something like that. Install a package with like if you want to install any package, I already told, like if you want to install Java in Windows machine, right, same way in RHEL machine, if you want to install something, so install and the package name. Like if you want to install MySQL, if you want to install a Java, something like that. So same way, if you want to remove something, remove and tree is a package name. I discussed, right. So this regarding tree we'll discuss. So yeah, now we're going to see what is a tree. So in tree defined as a recursive directory listing program. Recursive directory listing program means, right, if you have a parent directory, anything inside a parent directory, uh, in Windows, like we have one folder. Inside one folder we do have multiple folders, right? So same way, I'll take a notepad. So folder one. So then we have folder two. Then we have folder three. Then we have folder four. So in Windows also we have like this, right? Folder one, folder two, folder three, folder four. Meaning, I have a disk here. I have some folder like Apache Maven, and then inside this I have a bin. So same way, from root to we have some folder structure, right? Same way in Linux also, we have a folder structure. So to see the folder structure in a graphical view, meaning how we can see inside what and all folders is there in a mission in one root directory. So we use this thing. So by default it won't be available, this package, any RHL mission, it won't.
Dharma, I think Bhargi has some issues. She's not able to see your video.
Sorry.
Bhargi pinged in chat and just check it once.
See, other people are able to see, right?
Yeah, we are getting. I'm getting.
Yeah, then it's maybe his network or something issues. So just try to connect one more time. Yeah, we'll go now. So
I'm not getting the videos.
okay, 1 minute. I'll share one more time. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know you're able to see. So you're able to see.
Okay.
What about others? All are able to see, right? My screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. So you understood, right? Tree is a recursive function. So recursive directory listing program, which is generate a depth intended file list. So same in Windows, how we have a folders. In Linux also, we have a root folder. Inside root we have a child. Inside us we have a different folders directory structures. So if you want to see this one, see in here, right, we have a desktops, documents and downloads. Inside downloads we have these many files are there. So when we type a tree, right, it will list all the directories or all the files inside a root folder. It will give you, so that we can able to see which files are there in which directory. In this way, like, it is easy to recognize actually. So this is a different, like for Ubuntu apt install tree we used to use. But when it comes to RHEL m install tree we need to use. By default it won't be there. We have to install. See, we have to install any package means for the particular user we have root privileges. So right now, like when we go into RHEL instance, by default user is ec2 hyphen user. For this user we need to have root privileges. Root privileges in the sense admin privileges, whatever the tasks admin is able to do. So those kind of privileges he need to have, this particular user need to have that one. Like today we are not going to see, like maybe I'll make some other tutorials for that, how we can able to. So those things we are able to execute in time. When we move on, right, when we talk about Jenkins or some other tools, right, then we use these things. So now you have clear, right, like what is a tree and what is a package manager. And next we'll go, this is a package, like a tree, basic tree output. Like when we type a tree, it will give you. So inside of folders, like inside directories, if you have anything only, it will give you like this. Whatever the directories we have, it will listed you in a black screen. So next command, like what we're going to see, like grep. Grep in the sense like global regular expression print. So it is most popular used, like not only whatever use case we are showing here, not only this, like we are going to use in multiple cases in a grep. It will act as a filter. We can able to use this command by to find something, text in a file or something like that. So to print any line from any file that contains a specific pattern of a characters. So if you see here, so we are using a grep command to find a word in a file sample2. So we'll see that, like I'll create one instance and I'll show you. Yeah, see, some of the people are still struggling to create instance. So just see now how to create an instance in AWS. Okay, so first we have to go here and launch instances. So this is a kind of AMI. So we have to select here anything we can select. So I'm going to use Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Like if you want other things also, you can use it, whatever freely available, like Ubuntu server, anything you can use it. That's not a problem. But when it comes to RHEL, the username is EC2. But when it comes to Ubuntu server, the username will be might be different, like Ubuntu, some other username. When we select a different missions, right, the username will be different. Just see the documentation and try to use that. So I'll go and select this one, RHEL only. So immediately you can review and launch. But when it comes to immediate review and launch, right, each and every time here when we see a configure security group, so by default it will create a new security group in each and every time. So we don't want to do that. So whatever the security group already exists, I am going to use that. That is the reason I'll directly go here and select this one. So next we can go for review and launch. So here yeah, just we can launch it. So already last session we discussed, right, this is a Linux key. By using this key we can able to connect that one. Just we'll launch the instance. We'll see, wait for 1-2 minutes here. So we need to wait, like it is a pending, right, it will take 1 to 2 minutes. So grep is like, we'll see the demo for grep. So next what we're going to see, like a tile. Tile is also one more command. When we are going to use a tile command, like So in a real time, like your application logs are storing in a somewhere. So if you take any Java app is deployed in EC2 instance. So if you take like Java app is deployed in EC2 instance in a folder called OPT, then test, then app. So here in this folder, your application is deployed, and your application name is app1. So in this folder, your application is deployed. For this one, logs are rolling in var test and app plus app1. So here the logs are rolling. So whatever the application here we deployed for it, here the logs are rolling in the inside a box. So in real time, like, some issue happened. Some issue happened in the sense like your application is not up and running. So then like we have to go in this folder and we need to check the logs. But when we see the log file, it would be app.log. It is like a big file. So we are not able to see, like by using a cat or by using other commands, we are not able to see. We need last 10 lines, like in the file, last 10 lines. If you consider this is a file, so in the file, last 10 lines, if we need means, we use a command called tile. So tile is a command used to display last 10 lines, one or more files. Like main purpose used to read error messages. So whatever the error messages, maybe the file log file contains, or any other files, like whatever the log files are. Some of the when we have a Java application, like we have to see that some of the dumps actually, thread dumps and heap dumps. So those kind of dumps also we have to take. Just remember to access any file, last 10 lines we need to use a command called tile and then a file name. So we'll see this instance. Yeah, still this is initializing. Not sure. Yeah, now we can see, we can take a public IP for public IP we have to take here, and I'm opening my putty. Just copy this IP address in SSH auth. We have already created this key, right? By using this key we are able to provide authentication. Just accept it. EC2-USER. So here, right, previously we have selected RHEL, right? That is the reason we are using EC2-user. If you select Ubuntu, there will be different username, Ubuntu or something. So just check the documentation. According to that, you can log in. Okay. So right now PWD means present working directory. I'm in my home directory. Like EC2 user is there, right? So I was there in the home directory. Just I'm going to create one file. So vi is a editor to create a file. So I'll create one file called sample sample. So inside a sample, I was there now. So you need to press I button to enter a text. Like it is a insert mode. I'll say hello. Is a tech, and next one I is a tech, and I'll say hi, hello. This session. So just I'm trying to enter some text, and if you want to save this one WQ exclamatory, like we need to use I saved just to see a cat command. So whether whatever content we have, we can see it here. So see, first line hello, Teja Tech, second hi, Teja Tech, second, third one hi, hello, and then hello, this is a Linux session. So if you want to see, just this is an example, okay? In real time, like we have a big bunch of files will be there. So that time, like we have to use this grep command to see whatever you want to view some you meant to say that particular word. So here like we are viewing Phoenix in sample2 file the same way. So if you want to view hi or hello. So just I can say grep grep hello in a file called sample. If I say grep, I am grepping hello particular word, this word in a file called sample. So if you see, so first line in the file, first line it is able to fetch hello. It is making a red like it is there something like that. It is showing, and the second line also hi hello, and third line also in the first it is showing right hello. In the same way, if you're finding some word in a log file or in any application file, right, we can able to see by using a graph. Okay. So next, yeah, we discussed right. Tile is a command to see last 10 lines, like basically. So we'll create one more file for tile. So I'll see vi. I'm going to create one file called number. So just insert command. I'll enter some numbers because to show you how many lines it is fetching, right? I'll enter some numbers. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have entered 15 numbers. Okay. I'm going to save this thing. So now I'll use tile command to get like tile we already discussed, like it is fetching last number 10 rows number of a give. So see, whatever last 10 lines it will give the data. So whenever we occurred any error in your application logs, by using this tile command we can able to get these logs and we can able to read that message, whatever the issue. We can try to troubleshoot that issue by using this tile command. Actually DevOps engineers will do these things. Okay. And so by default it will be giving only 10 lines, right? So if you want you don't want 10 lines, so you need a specified number of lines. Then we have another syntax called tile -n number and the file name. So -n in the sense like how many lines we want. If we need a 5 lines, if we need 10 lines, or if we need 15 lines, by using this, like we can able to get it. So suppose I want only 5 lines. Here I'll tile -n and I want only 5 lines, last 5 lines. Then I can see number. So we're able to see only last 5 lines. No, I don't want 5 lines. I want something called 15 lines. So we're able to see all. So according to your requirement, like how many lines you want according to the particular log file, you have to select here. But because like we don't have any application running inside an EC2, that is the reason. For just a basic, like when we deployed in EC2 any application, we can able to see how the logs is rolling and everything. But for now, this command tile is used to command to check any file last 10 lines to see any issues are there or any error messages are there. Just remember that. Is it clear, right? So same way, like we have another command called head. So it is a complementary command for tile. Tile, we have to see last 10 lines. When it comes to head, we have to select first 10 lines. What is the there in the first 10 lines? For application writing some information in one file. So what is the first 10 lines of content inside a file? So that is the reason like we use a head command, head and a file name. So if you give right first 10 lines of the content, it will give you. So I don't want first 10 lines. Like if you need a specific amount, like I need a first 5 lines or I need a first 15 lines, I need first 100 lines of the content inside a file, we used to have head -n and the file name. We'll see that as well. So ls-lart I'll see here. So we have created a file called number. We'll see head -number. So we already discussed, like see first 10 lines it is giving here 1 to first 10 lines. So if you don't want first 10 lines means -n, I want only 5 lines in a file called number. So you got only 5 lines. Understood, right? Yeah. So in the same way, like if you want 15 lines, so we can able to see the 15 lines as well. inside a file, right? We can able to see the 15 lines of content. So just to these commands we use the day-to-day practice to troubleshoot any issues or something. To understand the files and all, we used to have these commands actually. So another command like this one also, like I can't able to show you demo, but I can explain you more. So like we see, right, like cat is a command to view the file content. If it is a like any big file, so that time like if you do a cat, right, it will have we need to scroll down. So scrolling in the sense, like this is a scroll bar, right? Our scroll bar. So if you have a big file means like we have to scroll down and scroll up like this, right? So same way, if you use a more command, we no need to scroll down or scroll up. So here, whatever area we have here from here to here, it will display the file content. And next thing, right, it will display like pages. Like if you open a book, right, we're able to see one page. So next, if you want to go for a next thing, we'll just what we will do, we'll just uh, do a page turn, right? Same way, we use this command called a more. So these are the keys to turn a pages, in a sense to scroll. So if you enter a screen, like it will scroll down line by line. Spacebar to get next page, and -b is a backend page, and slash, like let's say something like if you have any string kind of a thing inside a file, right? So we can check by using slash, meaning it will act as a filter by slash, right? We can check this what you can say in your file you have a kind of a word to say that. So you have a file number. If you want to check that where it is occurring, by using slash we can check that. Like we'll see demo future, okay, not now. So, next one is a host name. So host name in the sense, Linux host name, like whatever we have created on one EC2 instance, right, it will give you the host name actually. I have created already this one, right? This is my host name. So IP 172. It is not an IP address. Like there is a difference between IP address and a host name. Just read what would be the difference. By using this, like we need to have a basic network knowledge, like what is a host name. So by using this command, we are able to get this host name. Just remember, if at all we are using a host name, by using this, we can get public DNS like this host name in any mission. Okay. So IP config means like internet configuration. What you can say, right? It is a IP address. It is a kind of IP address. Okay. For the particular mission, you are assigning to some IP address, like a kind of a private and public IP address, IP4 address, right? So IP config will give you some IP address actually. So that one, like we can able to, like I can show you here, right? In the command I'll show you. So this is my Windows machine. I'm not going to show here. Okay. IP config. So when we see here IP config, so you're able to get your address, right? IP address. So like next one is a ping. So if you have multiple missions, okay, what we can say, like we have a 10 missions. You want to establish a connection, meaning sorry. So we have missions, right? Mission 1 to mission 10. Just assume like we have a production cluster. We have a 10 missions will be there. So by using this ping command, we can able to see whether my mission is in live or not. So we'll see one example here. So we can do that, like ping and www.google.com. We can see whether we are receiving a traffic or not. We'll see now here. For this, like we have a dedicated bandwidth will be very good, but my see how it works for my see I'm able to ping this server. So like we'll be receiving like a traffic bytes, how many data bytes will be getting here. So due to no this one network issue, like I'm not able to get like if you have a good bandwidth, like we'll be receiving data like this. Whenever you do control C, see at 17 packets transmission. So till now like I have transmission 17 packets, like 17 times from my machine. So it pinged to the Google server. So we can able to see whether the particular mission IP address by using this IP, right? So if we have a different IP address, so this is one IP, right? Like if we have in a cluster we have different IP address. If you see here, so here we are having only one mission. If we have different missions, right? From here we want to see whether this mission is alive or not. By using this ping, we can ping this command and we can see that. Okay. Netstat is another one more command to see the network statistics. You mean to say that whether how many ports are open. See, when we install Apache Tomcat, it will be running by default on 8080. So same way, if you run Jenkins, it is also run on 8080. So to see the traffic ports, like how many ports are open for particular mission. When we take EC2 mission or any server, how many ports are open for particular mission, we use a netstat command. Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yes, Teja.
You're audible.
Able to hear you.
Till where you have followed, like it got disconnected. Till where you have followed? So you followed, right? Ping you followed, okay? Ping. Hello, I'm asking you people.
Yes.
Ping is fine,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Next, like next stat is like where we have network statistics, like how many ports are open for a particular mission. So to like it is a kind of a network thing. We have to little bit understand the network things. When we using a particular mission, like we have a Tomcat server. If you install a Tomcat server, by default port number is 8080, and in the same time, if you have a Jenkins server, the Jenkins port also 8080. So that time, like we have to change the port numbers and all. So we can able to see like how many ports are open and which process is running on which port. To see all the statistics, we can use a netstat as a command to use that. Okay. So some of the commands are used by system administrator. Okay? So uptime, these like system administrator in the sense like whoever is having a root privileges. In a real time, nobody will have this root privileges. Okay, so this is the by using this mission, right? So can you give me 1 minute, please? Sorry guys. So see, when we use this up command, we can able to see, right? So till how much time this mission is up, how many users are there, so those kind of information we can able to see. So it is saying like up from 19 minutes, like we have started, like it is up from 19 minutes and one user is logged in. So service is another thing. So if you want any kind of a service, if you have Tomcat system or any other service, right? So if you want to stop or start this service, is like we need to use a service command. So we have HTTPD, like I spoken, right? Tomcat Apache server is a HTTPD server, and SHSD. These two are the services. If you want to stop any service or stop or start, we need to use actually to stop or to start this service like a service and a script name in the sense particular process, and then we need to start. Okay. And same thing like if you want to kill anything, kill is a command like to kill any kind of a process. So in your mission there are some processes running, like in Windows same as a task manager. Okay, in Windows same as a task manager, some processor running in Windows, right? Same way in Linux also we are going to run some processes. If you don't want those processors to be alive, you can kill, you can get this process ID. So let's use a command called, so these are all process IDs. So you're able to see, right? These are all system related processor running actually. So these things are PIDs. PID in the sense process ID. 10, 11. So all will see right here root. So these all process will be running in root privileges only. So this one process is running EC2 user. So in real time, you know, like we have some kinds of our application processes, our server process, our middleware server processes, middleware server in the sense Tomcat or WebLogic, any kind of a process will be running here. Sometimes from a production support or from a database team, you will get a request, something like that. So you need to kill some processor. Again, we need to start that time by using this command. You know what is the command? ps-eaf, and by using grep like ps-ef grep Java. So if we use, okay, 1 minute. So here see, if we have a Java process running, you want to check grep is a, I told you right, it act as a filter, right? So out of so many processes, if you want to grep, so Java process alone, it will give you Java process. Right now the Java process is not running, so we are not able to get. So if we see any process, other process, we'll see. So I'll take you know, grep, so maybe we'll see this one, like maybe we can have able to get it or not. So see here, we're able to see, right, all this process starting with user lib, system MD, and by using like this, whoever is starting with this name, we're able to get these processes actually by using a grep. It will find all the processes. So this process ID is this thing. So if you want to kill, we can kill it by using command called kill -9 and the process ID, particular process ID. So if you use -9, it will kill by forcefully. So wget is another command. So same way, like in Windows, we are downloading some kind of a softwares, right? So here wget is another command to download some softwares or external, some jar files or war files if you want to download in your server. So in real time, when we use a wget thing, right? So our application will create a jar file. So that jar. So my voice is clear, right? Like so wget is a command to download, you know, any kind of external thing, like whatever softwares, like we have stored our like when we do build, right, we'll generate one kind of a jar file or tar file, EAR file, our application file, it will be generated. So that file, like we'll be pasting in, you know, third-party repository tool called Nexus. In a real time, I'm just talking about. If you don't understand, also just be patient with me for some time. So whenever we have a kind of a requirement, that time like you maybe understand this complete thing. But before that, just understand this command used to download some external files to into, you know, machine. Okay. So next is a command called free. So free is a command to give information, like, you know, what, how much memory used and unused memory of a SPAP, you know, like particular mission, like how much memory it is used by. like if you want to check this mission, how much memory it is used and how much it is it is not unused and how much is available. This by using a free command, you can able to see. So you're able to see, right? My screen, like just be give me confirmation. You're able to see, right?
Yes, Tej.
Sure. So here, right, when we do a free command, so here this is a total memory and used memory, and this much memory is a free. So by using this, we can understand this mission have this much is a total memory, and this is a used memory, and this is the free. Till here we have available this much memory, but we are not sure like it is a GB or MB. So we have a different options, like if you want bytes, we have -b megabytes -m. If you want a gigabytes, -g is also one more command we can use it. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Free -b for bytes. So here it is a kind of complete bytes actually. So if you use free -m, it would be megabytes, this much MB. So 806 MB total, and used MB 119 MB, and free is 415 MB is available. So if you use -g, it will give you information in GBs. So why? Because like not even 1 GB also there, right? That's why we're not able to get any result. But in real time missions, it will be have more kind of a GB here. Like you can able to get like G means like here only 806 MB is there. That's the reason like it is showing 0. Okay. So next command is a top. Top is a command to find your CPU utilization. Like this is a server. So in this server, by using a top command, we can able to see how many processor running, how many users are logged in. So that command, we can able to get it by using a top command. So these commands are really important when you attend interviews for a DevOps. They'll ask you like if you have any kind of experience in DevOps, how to troubleshoot these issues. That time, like these commands will be most helpful for you. So if you see, right, this all the processor running inside your particular EC2 instance. So by using a top command, we're able to see the running processes inside this particular mission. These are the root process, some of your process. Like if you have created some other users also, it will give you. So if you see here, the first line, it will give you up for 34 minutes. Till 34 minutes, it is up. The system is running from last 34 minutes. And the logged in user, one user is logged in. This is a kind of load average. And how many tasks are running? 82 tasks, total tasks, and 2 running, 81 are sleeping. So this kind of information like total memory, how much memory is there. So each thing, particular details, if you want any kind of a details, right, by using a top command, we can able to get CPU utilization. CPU utilization of a particular command, we can get it by using a top command. Okay, I'll clear my screen. So next, I have a PS. So we already discussed like when we are going to kill, right, command to check the process, any kind of a process, right? PS is a command to use to check the process. PS-EAF. So it will give you all the list of the processes running inside the system. So if you want particular process, you have to add a pipe symbol and grab the particular process ID you have to give, and then you will get a particular process ID. So by using this, we can get the process ID, right? We can get, if you want to kill or if you want to restart or whatever, if you want to do, by using this PS, right, we can able to get the process information. So that is what PS is. This is the syntax actually, PS-EAF or PS-AUX also we can use a list of currently running process, we can get it actually. So do you use another command actually? Do you mean to say that like particular disk usage? How much disk this mission, like right now, how much I'm using, we can able to see by using the du command. -h is a tag. So by using -h tag, by using -h tag, we can able to get the output in human readable format. Please go on mute if you are not having any doubts or something. Okay. Du hyphen. This is right now disk usage for this particular disk. This much is using. We can able to say that. Okay. Du is a command to use a disk usage actually. So next, it is a kind of somewhat important actually. Okay, now like what is a soft link and what is a hard link? Okay, I'll give you just a brief about something about the soft link. Hard link. Okay. So soft link in the sense we have running our application here. Already we discussed, right? In a real-time perspective, our application is running here. So you want to map this particular like this particular folder to any one folder or a file, kind of a test. So you want to link, you want to create any link, right? So by this way, soft link will work. Hard link in the sense it is a kind of a mirror. Mirror in the sense whatever there in one so if we establish a hard link between these two files, this is one file and this is one more file. So if you want to establish these two files, hard link means so it is having a mirror file. Whatever the contents inside here also it will be there. Okay, it is will act as a mirror. It won't act as a mirror, but whatever there inside this content, it will be there here also. We'll see, like we'll take one example. We'll see how it will be in a real time. Okay, whenever like we deploy some kind of applications, right? That time we use this soft link and hard link. Most probably I used only soft link. I never got any requirement to use a hard link. Maybe in kind of some kind of a DB operations, we may get to use a hard link. Why? Because it is a mirror image where like if you have updated one folder, automatically whatever content we are updating, the second folder also it will be get updated. So I have this is example, like just to show you, I will create one example and I'll follow the steps. Okay. So first I'll create one directory mkdir. I have a directory called test. So right now I'll go inside this test directory. So right now pwd in the sense, so you are there inside EC2. I have created one directory. So what is the next step here? So we have created one directory and then like we have to create one file called source.file with some content. Just we'll try to create one file. We name it as source.file. So I was like I'm there in insert mode. I'll say hello. Just I have inserted some text and I'm going to save this file. So I have saved this one file. Okay. By using ls-lart, we're able to see this file. So the file is created by EC2 user and we have inserted some text. Okay, that's fine. So what is the next step? To create a soft link. To create a soft link, we have a command called ls-s. So this is a command, create a soft link, ls-s and source file, source.file and then soft link. This is also file only, but it is not created yet. Just we are mapping this file. Okay. So here, if you see here, soft link.file, this file is not created. When we see here, so we don't have a file called soft link. We just mapping this file. So ln-s, just see here, ln-s. Sorry. So we have a source file and then soft link.file. Okay. So source file, we have source file here and then soft link. Just we are creating a soft link here. ls hyphen lart. If you see here, source file we have, again this soft link we have created, just it is pointing to this particular source file. Okay, now I'm going to see cat command. I'll use cat command. I'll see what is there inside a source file. We know this text will be there inside our source file. Why? Because we have created this file. But just see what will be there inside this soft link. Okay, so here also same thing will be there. Why? Because it is the soft link is pointing to your source file. That is the reason we are just having this same text. Okay, so if you want to see inside, like more inside depth, okay, we have a concept called inode. Inode in the sense whatever the file we have created here, some data structures inside, like we have a table called data source and name will be one kind of a structure will be there. It will give you some address, memory address. So if you have ls lia, so you're able to see, right? So here I have a ID. For this ID, I have 5401455. For this soft link, I have one more ID called 5401456. This one is a different inode. This one is different inode, and these permissions are different, and these permissions are also different. Why? Because first we have created a source file, and then we have created a soft link. But when we talk about inode, these addresses are different, and these permissions are different in a soft link. So what I'll do, I'll try to delete my source file. What happens, we'll see. To delete a source file, rm is a command. So right now I have deleted my. So right now I have deleted my source file. We'll see, like previously, if you see this here, right, we get hi Teja Tech. Now we'll see cat. What will be the content inside of this file? So here it is saying soft link, no such file or directory. Why? Because we have already deleted this soft link. That is the reason it is not going to give any content in return to you. That is the concept behind this actually. So if you have any application, if you have created anything, just if you are pointing to this particular folder, if it is there here, then only it will give you content. So when we are deploying some, right, we are going to create a soft link kind of an environment. So we'll see one more example. What is a hard link also? Okay. So here, like I have practiced previously, so that is the reason I have highlighted here. The inode address is different and the permissions also different in a soft link, whereas in a hard link it will be different. Okay, so same thing, we can create a one more directory. So I'll come out from here, to understand a better. Sorry. pwd. So I was there in home EC2. I'll create one more directory called mkdir.dest. So you can create whatever, wherever directory you want, you can create. But I'm creating one more directory to understand a better way. Okay, so I'm creating a test2 directory. I'll go inside this test2 directory. So cd, I'm going to inside this test2 directory. Okay. So my mission is somewhat slow. That is the reason. Yeah. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. So here, right, we have created a test2 directory, and then we'll create the same way in a hard link, like we will create one source file. vi source.file file. We'll create one file. Same way we'll insert some text. So if you cat, you can able to see the file content. Hello, this is a hard link. Just I gave this content only. Hello, this is a hard link. That is what I gave here. So next we want to create a hard link. When we want to create a soft link, what is the command? ln-s is a soft link command. But if you want to create hard link, there is no option of s. So source dot file, then hard link dot. We can use this command actually. We'll see now how it works. Sorry. My system is somewhat slow. Okay. Then I have a source, and then I'll create a hard link dot file. So done. LART, if you see here. So you have a source file and then we have a hard link file. Okay. Source file we already saw what is the content inside it. Correct? If you see one more time. Hello, this is hard link we have. Same, I want to see what is there inside this one, hard link file. So here also same thing is there. Hello, this is a hard link. That's what we have created a hard link. Hard link in the sense it is a kind of a mirror. Whatever there in the source, it will be there in the hard link. Okay. So next thing, you want to understand some more in depth, like last time we have created these permissions and all, it will be different, right? Same way, if you want to see that, LIA, okay. So here, if you see here, this inodes 5455755 and 5455755, both are same only. We have created a source file, but this hard link also it is giving both are same only. And the permissions are as well, read, write, read, and read, write, read. These two also same only. So we can say hard link, it will act as a mirror. It will point actually. So I'll try to delete this source. Okay. rm remove source. So what will be there? We'll see. So I have deleted source file. Just I'll try to cat this content of hard link. Okay. But we are able to see the content. Why? Because it is a kind of a mirror, right? So if one goes down also, we have a hard link file is there. That is the reason we are able to see. When it comes to soft link, it is just a pointing. That is the reason we are not able to see the content inside it. Okay. So I hope